Good evening, everyone. My name is Kim Trathen, business and marketing coach, and I'm coming live tonight. It is already episode 13 of Girls Talk Business. And my guest tonight is a really amazing woman. She actually lives close to me, and our kids even go to school together. So I'm really excited to have Elissa Howard on. Elissa and her husband Lucas started a real estate firm called Lucas Howard Group in town. So they've actually grown their firm to quite a good size. And it looks like Elissa's on. All right, girl, I'm going to bring you on. And let's see. All right, Elissa, I am. And you should see a notification that you just have to accept, and then we should show as a split screen in just a second. So Alyssa's going to talk with us tonight about what they've gone through with growing their business over the last few years. Elissa, it says it's adding you.
Yay!
Hello!
Hello!
I'm so excited to have you on.
Me too. This is weird holding the phone like this.
I have a tripod, so then I don't have to hold it.
I'm gonna get an extra workout in today.
There you go.
That's good.
Oh, I'm so excited to have you on. I was just giving the brief introduction. Can you talk a little bit about when you and Lucas started Lucas Howard Group, and talk a little bit about what you guys do, and first explain what you do at your real estate company?
Yeah. So my husband actually, Lucas, started real estate about 15 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And that really ages us. And in about a year, I went and got my license in 2008, and because he was pushing me to do that after I had our second child, and I never did anything right away. And then I kind of, about 4 years, actually it's going on 5 years now, I started working one day with him, and it just kind of rolled from there. I now work full time, and my job, when I started, was building back those relationships with the clients that we maybe hadn't talked to in a while. So I started pulling boxes out of a storage room and creating an Excel spreadsheet, and just creating a plan on how I was going to do that. And then from there, just have grown to 21 people on the team now in the past 5 years.
That's amazing. That's it. Within the 5 years, you grew to the 21 people team?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And what were you doing before you started working one day a week there?
Yeah. So I actually was, I was a stay-at-home mom for, I don't even know how many years. It all kind of goes together, I feel like.
Yes.
I used to be a loan officer. So I was a loan officer for about 5 years, and I worked for a small mom and pop, and they would go to Florida for the winter, and they had asked me to manage the office. And so I've always kind of been in the real estate world, if you will. It just made sense. We have always pretty much been self-employed, and we've always worked together. And when I was doing mortgages, I would refer all my business to him, obviously, and vice versa. So, so that's what I did before. I was a loan officer and stay-at-home mom, and then now I work with my husband.
That's awesome. So anybody who watches live or catches the replay, Elissa and I are both in Michigan, in the Grand Rapids area. Drop below and let us know where you're watching from. I love seeing where the Girls Talk Business episodes span to. We've had South America and Australia and the UK. So drop below, let us know where you watch either replay or live from.
Sorry, we can help you anywhere too. Just so you know, we can help you all around the world. We're actually investors in the UK. So we have a market center.
Really? I didn't know that. So can you talk a little bit about that a minute? What do you do? How do you help these people that are around the world? Can you talk about that?
Yeah. So Keller Williams has about 180,000 agents, and all like-minded, come from contribution, just love helping others. So our goal is to align you with someone that works like us and it's going to take great care of you. So we have our partner agents, throughout the whole world that we can connect you with if you need a referral. We'd love that opportunity as well.
Oh, that's awesome. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Very cool. So what was that like? What was that like for you when you went from being a stay-at-home mom and you had that loan experience? What was that like for you to transition into working for at Lucas Howard Group then with your husband?
Yeah. So it was crazy. Um, absolutely crazy. I, it was just, it was kind of like tugging because I'm like, gosh, I really like this. And for me, I just love growing. I love growing people. I love growing businesses. It's just something that just fires me up. So it was like, I felt like Luke knew, like once I was in, I was like going all the way the whole time. So, it's a balance as a mom and learning that balance and being okay to say like, yeah, I failed quite a few times, I'm sure. And okay, so now what are we going to do? What are we going to do from here? And uh, we we actually switched to Keller Williams about a little over 3 years ago, and it's been absolutely life changing. I
Can
feel
you
like I've
explain
not
what that
even.
relationship is then between Keller Williams and Lucas Howard Group?
Yeah, so Keller Williams is the brokerage. We're, again, nationwide. And my husband actually has his associate broker's license, but we have our own team under Keller Williams, if you will. So
Okay.
yeah, yep.
Awesome. Awesome.
Um,
So did your kids struggle when you started working more?
yes, especially being a stay-at-home mom, they were used to me all the time.
Yeah.
And it was tough. And when we joined this company, we're actually the number one training company in the world. And
Wow.
yeah, and so we wanted, we were just taught from the beginning, like you dive in, you go to everything. And so we travel all around the world educating ourselves. And so do our agents on our team. We invest into them. It's very, very important to us.
Yeah,
Um,
that's so cool. And how exciting I feel like too that your team is able to have some of those opportunities to travel around for the training
oh,
too. I feel like that lights people up and they feel important and it's exciting to travel
yeah.
somewhere. That's
It,
amazing.
and we have so much fun. Our team, like we've just been so blessed. We have such amazing people in our world. It gets me like emotional. Um, I mean, every single day they just come in and people come in, they're like, everyone's just smiling and everyone's just happy. And,
Aw.
um, you know, it's, it's been so rewarding to build something so strong and have such a good culture and such good people that have that like-mindedness of, that servant's heart. And, it's more than real
Mhm.
estate for them. It's way more than that. It goes way beyond that. So,
Oh, that's so amazing. What do you think
yeah.
has really contributed to being able to build that culture?
What was that?
What do you think has contributed to you guys being able to build that culture there?
I mean, the education and just constantly, you know, delving into learning how to be a better leader. How do we inspire others and starting with the mission and vision and what we stand on as a company is very, very important. We joke around, we say we're in a cult. We joke around because we start every meeting with um, with our goals and our vision and our mission statement, and we say it all together so it's in front of us at all times. So
That's
that's been,
awesome.
yeah, that's been really, I mean, just and then them knowing that um, that they're important to us and that we want to invest into them has made, a huge, huge difference. So
Yeah. And I think when you have the leadership that is so strong like that, with setting up the meetings where you're all talking about the mission and the vision. And even, I would think that even when you've gotten new hires, then it helps them understand how important that is to leadership, and it kind of ingrains that. It's kind of a mini form of training on your culture by everybody being on the same page with that. So
Right.
that's really cool. So what can you talk a little bit about what it was like? Because I know there's a lot of entrepreneurs that when they have their business running and they're getting ready to think about hiring some employees, that can be a really scary plunge for people to take, because now it's not just
Right.
you and your lives and the money you're making is for you, but now it's these other people and families. Can you talk a little bit
Yeah.
about what that was like when you went through those times of knowing that you needed to hire employees, or the first time that you did?
Right. So we learned that leverage was really important, and leverage is important for growth. And you need to look at your life and figure out what's important that you're doing and what's not important. So, for me now, my life is really, really leveraged. It doesn't make sense for me to, be home cleaning the house, or it doesn't make sense for me to go buy groceries, or it doesn't make sense for me to be out picking up dog poop. You know what I mean? Like those
Yeah.
kinds of things. It does it you know it I have help in all aspects of my life to be able to build this business and be able to be a mom to my kids and be present when I'm home. And so um it's just really learning how to do that, and learning how to
Mhm.
let go, and be okay with it, because it's okay, and you don't have to be superwoman.
Yes, I love that. And that can be really tough, I think, especially with women, there can be this really tough hurdle to get over of letting go some of those house
Yeah.
responsibilities to free up your time for your professional responsibilities. And I think a lot of women end up dealing with almost a guilt over it. Like, who am
Yeah.
I to, you know, pay
Yeah.
for grocery delivery or whatever it might be, or my house to be cleaned. And I think there can be
Yeah.
a lot of guilt with it. Did you have to deal with that, or was that an easier transition for you to make?
Now it's like so easy. I probably am like letting like just delegate, right? Leverage, leverage, leverage. Yes, it was. It's like, because you feel almost like you're less of a person because you're not tackling everything that you used to do, or what the world feels that you should be doing as a mom. And so
Yes.
growing a business is, that's something that I wish I would have done sooner, is making sure that that I did those things maybe a little bit sooner, so I was taking better care of myself, because
Hmm.
there's only so much that you can do. You're one person or two people. When you have a husband and a wife and a business together, it's I'm work as much as you can, like for him, and I'll take care of everything else, because we have this common vision of building something really big, until you start adding, like you had said, your hires. And Lucas says that I was his best hire.
I
So
love it.
yeah, I
He's
paid
a
him this week.
smart man. He's a smart
I
man.
know, right? So, I was his first hire, and then I came in, and I was like, I'm not able to do all this by myself. I need help. So I took my plans, and I had a friend, a dear friend from high school. We're still best friends. And she works on our team, and she's been on our team for 4 years. And it's kind of a funny story. She's like, Elissa, I know you know so many people, and I'm kind of looking for something and part-time. Do you know of anything out there? I was like, well, actually, I could use some help. And I said,
You're
I'm
hired.
gonna, yeah, you're hired. We take the process a little bit different now.
Hey, we
That's
all
why
have to
we don't
start
do,
somewhere.
yeah, right. That's why we don't do the hiring anymore
Yes.
at all. We have somebody who's awesome that does that. So yeah, I said, I hate to overpromise and underdeliver. I'm not sure what this looks like yet. and she's been on board for 4 years, and she desires to work 2 days, and that's fine. And yeah, I mean, from there, then we hired first um, our first fire specialist to support Lucas, because he literally was running ragged. The average
Wow.
agent is about 8 deals a year, so helps about 8 families a year. And Lucas was doing his, like 60, helping 60 families a year.
Holy
And then,
cow.
yeah, and then I was his transaction coordinator at the same time because I used to do loans at the same time. Um, I'm working on building out this database and this relationship and getting these relationships back in order. So it's like, it was bananas. And,
Yeah.
and then now, I mean, it's just grown. We have what's called career visioning through Keller Williams. And so our process is so much different now. I mean, it's a really, really intense hiring process for us before you join our team, and it has to be a fit for every single person on the team, and they have to be okay with it. And if one person isn't, then it's not going to work out,
Wow.
because that's how important our culture is and how important our people are, because we know that one person could ruin everything that we have, and that's just not how we want that to go. So
Yeah. That's really powerful, and I think it shows what respect you have for the people that you have hired, that you put that much faith in their opinion of their colleagues also.
yes, they are. They're so important, and it's like a family here. And
Yeah.
and I know that some people might not think that that's right. And it was funny. We just had a review today for our listing coordinator, Sammy, who's been with us for now 3 years. She has two master's degrees. She hated her job, and one of our agents had referred her in to us. She had no experience at all, which, just an FYI, anybody that we hire, we prefer them not. We don't want anybody to have this experience. So everyone on our team has come from a different field, or is new, brand new into the
Hmm.
business.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
yeah. So anyways, we had a review with her today, and we're going through, and she's like, I was at home the other day and I was talking to Kendall, who's our listing agent, and she was saying goodbye to me, and she's like, love you. And she goes, love you. She goes, love you too. And her husband goes, did you just say love you to one of your coworkers? And she goes, yeah. And he goes, that is freaking weird.
Well, men probably don't get that anyhow, how women say that
Yeah,
to each
right,
other, but that's
right.
hilarious. I love
Oh,
it.
yeah.
I
Oh,
love
yeah.
it. So
It's
I know
so
in
fun.
your application that you sent in, you talked about how important personal development is to you and education and continuing to learn. When did you become really deeply involved with personal development? Was it once you came on board with the Lucas Howard Group? Is it something you've always been into? Was it when you guys became associated with Keller Williams?
Yeah, I honestly, Keller Williams has been life changing for us. We just have been, we've had the opportunity to be surrounded with such amazing people in such amazing classes. And it's honestly, it's pushed me to a different spot in my life.
Hmm.
It's helped me not to allow myself to ever be comfortable. Like years ago, doing this right now, I there's no way I would have ever done that.
Yeah.
And you get it, doing your first live, and you're like, oh my gosh,
Oh
I'm
my
gonna
God. I
cute.
thought I was going to throw up. Literally thought I was going to throw up before I went live the first time. I
Oh
was
yeah.
terrified.
And now I do video multiple times a day for our business, and um, you know, it's pushed me to such a different spot in my life, and going to these
Hmm.
classes, and then the mindset and constantly feeding myself every single day with, whether it's listening, to you, listening
Aw.
to, other, just listening to my books, um, just other great people in my world that I follow and, feeding myself. You have to feed yourself just like spiritually, it's like feeding every single day and
Yes.
to be the best person that you can be. And we've, we've just grown both so much. And,
Hmm.
I feel like I'm not a totally different person. Like I'm not a different person. I'm just doing things that I never thought were possible. And the reason why we do what we do is to help others, get to where they never thought that they would be in their life. And for me, that is like my ultimate. I mean, that's my why
Yeah.
because of
And
the way that I grew up,
it is funny how like I know exactly what you mean when you say like you're still the same person, but in a way you feel like this whole new person because I feel like over these last 2 years with the journey that I've gone down too, like I just look back at who I used to be and I'm like, man, that girl was wasting some time if I'm gonna be
Yeah.
honest.
Like,
That
why didn't I
girl
start sooner? Why didn't I
exactly
start,
like that girl just
I
didn't have
could
a
have been,
clue. She didn't know. She didn't
I know.
and once your eyes are open to all the possibilities that are out there, and what is the quote? And I can't even think who said it. Something about you're the average of the five people you spend the
You're
most
the
time with.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah,
there is
basically.
so much truth to that.
True.
And once you start
Mhm.
associating, and whether it's online, in person, whether it's even listening to audiobooks, I feel like gives you some of that because you're getting this
Mhm.
different messaging than if you just surround yourself with people that aren't giving you those types of out of the box, bigger picture, positive
Right.
messages throughout the day. But it
Yeah.
is I was shocked at how much your mindset shifts. And once your mindset starts shifting, I mean, you can make some big
Mhm.
waves in your life pretty
Oh my
quickly in
God.
the scheme of life. You know what I mean? It's not going to
You
happen overnight,
can.
but it's pretty shocking.
And it's like we're not or I know I'm not here to be average. And I'm
Yes.
not here, there's Ben Kinney who he's not that it matters. It's not even about, it has nothing to do with the money either.
Hmm.
Nothing to do with the money. It's what you can do with the money.
Yes.
And Ben Kinney, was I think 10 years ago, was a cable guy and was given the book MREA, Millionaire Real Estate Agent. And now he's a multi-millionaire and he's a philanthropist. I'm working on that word. He gives away $1 million a year. What a blessing.
I
And
know.
he
Can you,
said it's selfish. It's selfish not to want more and to do more because you can
yes.
help so many more people. And that just
And
burns
there's
the
such a
fire inside
stigma
me.
about wanting to earn more money and wanting more wealth. And so many people think it sounds greedy to say that
Yeah.
I want to make more money instead of thinking about how you can help, whether it's organizations, people in your
Mhm.
community, your schools, your
Yeah.
churches, whoever you can
That,
help. And then it is also about the experiences that you can give your kids. And if you
yeah,
can
for sure.
you know, bring them to serve in another country or, whatever it
Yeah.
might be. But there is so much good that can come from having more money. But I think a lot of people, and I'm not going to say I've read any studies on this, but I feel like in general, women feel more guilty about wanting money than men do. To make a gender stereotype, I think that historically there's a lot more men that are more comfortable, and that's part of the reason why historically you see more, male millionaires and you see more male executives, and
Not
there's a whole lot of
anymore.
other, yeah, not anymore.
Not anymore. We're coming to town.
Yeah, watch out, men.
Yeah.
Riding into my pink Cadillac someday.
Lady leaders right here.
Yes, yes. But I think a lot of it does come down to that money mindset and feeling like, money is bad and to want it is bad and to want to work harder, work smarter and to make more money. There's still a lot of people out there that feel guilty saying those things and
Mhm.
wanting those things.
Right. No, for sure. In another or one of our books that we read is or that we've read, because we do book clubs, so our team, we have a book
Oh,
every
fun.
single month that we read as a team, and come together at the end of the month, have lunch together and talk about it after one of our team meetings. And Grant Cardone, I'm sure a bunch of people may know him. Um, he's been, I mean, listening to him is just, gets me all fired up. He's been inspiring to a lot of us. And, we actually had the opportunity to go out to Houston and see him speak in person, meet him in person. And just, he talks about, this is a little story. And when I got back, I was just on fire. And he talks about how people will go to the store to get strawberries, and if they're not on sale, then they don't get their strawberries. And then they wait for them to go on sale. So then they drive all the way back home and then drive back when they're on sale. So they end up spending more money just to save money to get these strawberries. And I got back and I'm like, we're getting our freaking strawberries. People. Like,
yeah, girl.
So, I mean, he just, he gets me going. And, and I just want everyone in my world to be at such a different spot, in a spot they never imagined possible in their lives. And that's super, super important. And that's
I
why,
love that. I love that.
on our team, we push, we coach everyone on our team, and we're pushing. I mean, I tell them, you guys, I'm not messing around. Like, I'm not,
Yeah.
it's game time, and we are just so focused, and just super blessed with the people that we have, and I couldn't be happier.
So what book are you guys reading right now?
Right now we're reading Shift. It's written by Gary Keller, so that's about the market and the shifting market. We've actually already read that, and we decided to read it again. Same with The One Thing is by Gary Keller. We'll be reading that again this year.
Okay.
And a lot of people think that multitasking is a good thing when actually it's not. That was an eye opener for me, because I always felt like I was being so productive, doing 20 million things.
Have you ever are you on the email list or anything for Dave Crenshaw? Do you know who he is?
No. Mm-mm.
I'm on his email list. Yeah. He's like a productivity guy. So he's about increasing your productivity. But he has an exercise out there where he basically does this exercise to explain the difference between multitasking and switch tasking. And that when the majority of people think they're multitasking, they're not. They're switching between two activities that both require brain power. And that
you're like something at both of them.
Exactly. And the exercise was so awesome. And I can't remember exactly. You had to write down a sentence though, like, my name is Kim Trappen and I'm a business and marketing coach. Like, you had to write down a sentence and then write down the numbers like 1 through 20. Well, then to show how inefficient switch tasking is, instead of writing down the sentence and writing down the numbers, you write down like the first letter, the first number, the next letter, the next number. And it takes you like 5 times as long.
Yeah, I've done that.
Have
I
you?
feel like I've done that.
Have you?
Yeah, I feel like I have.
It's a good exercise. That was the first time when I realized like, oh, I'm not multitasking. I'm actually switch tasking. And he says like, multitasking is okay, because multitasking is like watching TV while you're on the treadmill. Like, one activity isn't going to take away from the other one. But the problem is most people aren't actually multitasking. They're doing 2 important tasks at the same time. And then, you stink at both of them and you make mistakes and things get screwed up. Yeah. So,
big time. Big time.
Definitely. So one question that I have heard women talk about before, not specific to you guys, but how is it working with your husband? Because I have heard I know some other women that work with their husbands. Oh, my hair's doing something crazy, and love it.
I have my team who's like, take your gum out. I'm like, how do I take my gum out on a live? Are you kidding me? So I'm going to take my gum out. I have people like posting signs out my door. I'm like, you're so distracting. There goes my gum. There we go. There's my gum, team.
I'm cracking up. I did not notice you had gum in your mouth, but I'm
Well,
looking
they
at
did because I have signs outside my door right
I'm
now.
looking at my camera hole more than I can look at you. So, so I didn't
This is
even
so
notice.
weird not looking you in the eyes.
It's weird, isn't it?
It's challenging.
It
We'll go
is.
there.
I did not struggle with it. Like when I'm just on the live, I'm very
Oh,
comfortable.
yeah.
I pretend like everybody who watches me is inside that tiny little hole in my phone.
Oh, yeah.
But doing these joint lives, I'll glance over quickly, but it's
I know,
really, it's hard.
I know. Sorry if I messed it up, Kim. Oh my gosh. So, okay, sorry.
So yeah,
Getting off
working with your husband,
okay.
are there extra complications with that?
Yeah. Actually, for us, and a lot of people say this, how do you do this? Like, I could never do it. And I don't, it's never been a problem for us,
Yeah.
especially now as we've grown. I used to do a different role. He used to do a different role. And now we have like our defined roles on the team. And like, he'll be like, you're in my lane, or yeah. And our team just knows how we are. Like we joke around all the time. And he's like, I'm a high D and he's more of an I. And I'm just like, get it done yesterday, and I think we just both know each other's personalities and how we work, and we appreciate each other because of that. And he calms me down, and he, puts me in a better spot and makes sure that I'm pretty open and straightforward person. And so he puts some beautiful in that to make sure I'm not messing anything up.
Oh, that's so
Yeah,
sweet.
I mean, it's awesome building something great with someone that you love. And, I don't know, we travel together. Like I love it. I wouldn't change it. It's hard, we both leave the kids when we're traveling. And,
Right.
for them, I think it's good to see us and how much we love each other and then how much we love what we do.
Mm-hmm.
That's so important, because when I grew up, all I heard was, I hate my job. I hate what I do. I don't want to go back. And my mom passed away and she never got to retire. And she did a job her whole life that she absolutely hated.
Oh,
I mean, that's not, and that's been inside me. And that's why I want, like, when I hear people that aren't happy with where they're at, and we even tell people, if you're ever not happy here, like, please let us know. Or,
yeah.
you want, if something better comes up in your life or you feel led in a different direction, go for it. Um, we never want to hold anybody back, or have them here if they don't want to be. And because it shows, it
Mm-hmm.
shows. And that's not who we are, our team is.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, that's been inspiring for me. You just learning from the way that you were raised, and thank
Mm-hmm.
God I learned things not to do. And I'm so grateful for that, and I won't change it for the world.
Yeah, it's such a
And so
great
now,
message for your children to get and for them to
yeah.
see and to know like people can actually like their jobs.
Mhm.
It's not
Yeah.
all gloom and doom and misery and
Mm-mm.
shackles and chains.
No,
Oh,
I
I see
literally,
Narika's on. Oh, thanks, Narika. Narika knew I was getting my hair done today. That's
yeah,
why it's so curly. I just got a fresh highlight. I mean, it's natural. It is all
you look,
natural, ladies.
you look
Um,
fabulous. I look special today, so.
Narika works with her husband too. Narika, I would love if you would share if you think it's like easy, if you will, to work with your husband, because I know you guys are like a super power couple too, just like Elissa and her husband. So I feel like you ladies would get along well. I think you guys have a lot in common with your missions, and
I,
I love it.
I'd love to connect.
Yes, yes, you
I
guys
actually
would
want
hit
to
it off.
start I want to start kind of, well, in Keller Williams, there's quite a few power couples, in the industry, and I'm like, you guys, we need to start flying and going somewhere to mastermind together.
Yes.
So I'm super determined to start that up.
Yeah, you got to do that. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Oh, hi,
for
Karina's
sure.
on. Karina, I know where Karina's joining us from Canada. So
Oh,
I know where
cool.
she's from. Yes.
Canada.
Um, what was that?
I said Canada A.
No.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's my accent.
Oh, I love you, girl. I love you. Should we talk about the offer that you wanted to extend
Yeah.
to any of the
Yes.
viewers? And make sure you let us know too if the offer that you're extending, if there's a specific deadline on it.
Yeah, sure thing. So, again, I'm Elissa Howard from the Lucas Howard Group, and we have a group of real estate experts. And so I would like to share what we have to offer. And we love the opportunity to help anyone that you know, any friends or family, and to interview for the position to, sell or buy a home or investments or commercial or whatever that looks like. So today we would like to offer our comparable analysis. If you have any questions, no cost to you, comparable analysis to see, what's the value of your home. Maybe you have no idea. Maybe you have no clue that you have equity in it, or you're on the verge of questioning if you should move or not. And we're here to help. And it doesn't matter if it's something that you decide that isn't best for you, then we want you to do what's best for you, because that's what it's about. And for listing your home, we would like to offer a 2-hour complimentary in-home design. So we'd have somebody come in and go ahead and basically do all the furniture and rearrange and all that good stuff. So it'd be a free consult for you for a 2-hour
Oh,
for a
wow.
listing.
And so
And I don't,
what area is that for? Like the Grand Rapids area?
yeah. So the Lucas Howard Group is licensed in, all of Michigan. And we service typically a radius of an hour outside of Grand Rapids. Sometimes we'll go a little further if it's something that we feel we're not going to be able to, serve you at a high level, or there, would be any question there. Then we make sure that we'll connect you with, one of our real estate partners, another partner that is an expert in that area. So,
Oh, cool.
yeah.
That's exciting. Is there a cutoff date? Because I'll include some of these details when I update the
So
description of the live.
if they mention your name in your group, then we'll go ahead and honor that for
Okay.
years to come.
Awesome. And finally, your top 2 tips for other entrepreneurs.
Yeah. Okay, so it's simple, not easy, and consistency. So whatever you start it and you stay with it. And if you can't stay with it, then you don't start it, because otherwise it doesn't make any sense.
Yes.
That's been the biggest thing for us in building our business, is just having that consistency there in everything that we do.
Yes. And I think that applies like across the board, no matter what industry, what area, online, brick and mortar. Consistency is so important. And I think especially when you're starting out too, it's important externally for people to recognize who you are, and externally for you to actually make progress in your business. But I also think it's important internally, because when those mindset issues creep up and the confidence, and you're suddenly self-sabotaging and you're not making progress, it can be harder to keep that consistency.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely.
And I love it.
So
Simple, not easy.
do what you love, and if you love something, do it. And if you're not happy with where you're at and you always desire to do something, give us a call because we'll push you to get there, right, Kim?
Yes, yes, yes. Amen, sister. I love
Yeah.
it. I love it.
Anything worthwhile is uphill.
So true. So
Yeah.
true. Unless
Yes.
you randomly, those tiny fraction of people that buy a lotto ticket and win, aside from them, they are the
Yeah.
only exceptions to that rule that I can think of.
Yeah. I agree.
Oh, it was so fabulous to have you on today. Thank you so much for joining me, Elissa.
Yes.
Everybody
Thank
who
you so much.
catches the replay, make sure you check out Elissa online, the Lucas Howard group. They are absolutely amazing. And thank you for watching the Girls Talk Business. Yes, Narika, yes, catch the replay. I love it. Do it, girl. All right. Thank you, Elissa, and have a good rest of your night.
Bye. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.